This subject matter has to do with Peter. Is Peter the rock? Or in the Greek, I think the word is Cephas, Cephas. Jesus asked the question of Peter, says, "Who do men say that I am?" And he says, "Thou art the Son of the living God." Blah blah blah. Okay. He says, "Upon this rock shall I build my church." Well, the rock he was talking about was not Peter or Peter's flesh. You know, it had to do with Peter's revelation of who Jesus was. That's the rock. And then what does Jesus say? He says, "For upon this rock shall I build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it." Exactly what that latter remark means, I haven't quite studied it out yet, but generally the general idea would probably be that you're going to have your you're going to be fortified because you know. So, do we know? I've asked this before. What do we know? What do we really know? It's, I'm sorry. For me, it's not enough that it's written in the Bible. Sorry. One day I had to get honest a long time ago and say, hey, I don't believe any of this stuff. Oh, well, I saw a vision, and I saw this, and I saw that, but there are people in nut houses that see things too in that. So what's the difference? The difference is that I made contact with my spirit. I knew in my spirit that it was what it was, but not necessarily everything all at once. Just pieces here and there. Well, yeah, I might be a prophet, and I might have talked about some high and mighty things in some other tapes, but that doesn't mean I know about everything in the book of Revelation. And sure, there are people all throughout Christendom that are going to point the finger and say, well, if you're really a prophet of God, everything you say would come to pass. Well, I mean, it's funny how these novices, these people have no experience, none whatsoever, are the first ones to pick up a book as if they're going to beat me over the head with it and show me what the story is. Maybe when Einstein was parading around the theory of relativity, why didn't some mathematician come along and say, hey, look, this is Isaac Newton over here. This is a contradiction to this. Well, I guess people don't operate like that in those circles. Only in the religious world do we have special entitlements to run around and say, oh, well, I have a Bible here, and I'm going to show you just how it is. All the translations that are out there, they're all worthless in the English. There's a few adjustments that are there, but most of them are worthless. This business of reading many scriptures and being fed and all that stuff, I don't see it. I don't see how it's done. I used to do that, but I had to get more and more specialized as I got older. I had to know precisely what I was dealing with, not so much for the sake of telling other people, but for my own peace of mind. If I had to put down exactly everything I knew, it probably couldn't fill up an index card. But those words that are on that index card would probably comprise thousands of verses. If you had to take the whole sum total of a Bible in terms of what is actually useful there and everything, which things you actually really know about, maybe it might fill up a sheet of paper. And the question is, what's relevant? There was a man of God back in the 15th century named St. John of the Cross. At least that was his name given him by some Catholic group, whatever. And he said that he wrote quite a bit of stuff. I read his writings, Dark Night of the Soul, The Ascent of Mount Carmel, and The Flame of Love. The size of a telephone book. It took me nearly 10 years to read it. And he said a person will read this and he has to take from that book or from another book or from one man of God or another man that which is pertinent to himself. So not everything applies. And then, of course, there's other books out there. There's The Spiritual Man by Watchman Nee. There's the Terry Castles by St. Teresa of Avila, which was a contemporary of St. John of the Cross. She ran the cloistered nuns. By the way, St. John's group was a re-entrenchment for the Carmelites, which really, in one true sense, is a false group. The true Carmelites are back there during the time of the Essenes. I think the rumor is that their whereabouts got lost in the 12th century or 13th century. St. John emerged around the latter part of the 1400s. It's sort of interesting that there were three men of God from different backgrounds. There was Martin Luther in Germany, there was St. John in Spain, and then there was St. Francis in Italy, all within 100 years of each other, doing a form of like a reformation of different effects and different consequences. So the revelation factor that each of us has to achieve and know is of course a personal thing, but then when we speak, the way we're judged from others is not because it's written in a book, it's because the other person can hear with his spirit and he gets a witness. Now, sometimes people say, oh, I don't get a witness on that, brother. Well, what they really mean to say is that they went to the catalog of their brain and they rifle through a bunch of verses they have memorized, say, oh yeah, that's a contradiction of this here, so therefore it doesn't exist. There's a lot of mysteries out there, a lot of peculiar things, both in the spirit realm and also in the sciences. Which one is true and which is relevant? What are you going to do with the visions of Sagittarius Thunder Sin? What are you going to do with the visions of Annie? Sagittarius Thunder Sin is from India. Visions of Annie, I think it's from Argentina. What are you going to do with another St. Teresa during the 10th century? Wrote 4 treatises on faith and this and that thing. Very, very well written stuff. I mean, we're talking the 10th century, ladies and gentlemen, not the 1900s. 10th century writing reads like a document from the 1900s. I mean, where do these people get this ability to write like that? Or Joan of Arc, for that matter. She had someone write down the stuff. This woman couldn't even read and write. And when you were uneducated back in those days, I mean, you were really uneducated. Not like today. Even the most pronounced moron here can at least read and write and use a computer. You read that stuff, I mean, that's some real authority in her voice. Oh, and that's another thing to like to kick into the picture. You know, you have a movie out there that shows that that Joan of Arc was caught by the English and killed. Well, I'm sorry to say that never happened. Now, Joan of Arc lived to, I don't know, whatever age the people usually lived to in those days, 30 or 40, and she died, you know, a natural death. She never got caught. But, you know, that was then, this is now. What revelations do you have? What's your walk? What are you doing? What are you involved in? I mean, once you hear what I'm talking about, you're going to become very apathetic about your Christian involvements and really ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I kidding myself here? Am I playing some sort of game? I mean, what do you really know? What do you really know? You're going to take what somebody else told you and take that as the truth? Oh, because it came out of a Bible? Well, fine. Oh, I'm going to carry around a manual for how to fix a garden hose. I'll make that a Bible. I can make things fit. You know, oh yeah, see, if you put it there, that'll work in your life. Are we alive out there? What's going on?